I heard him say those words, and I felt myself smile at them as I moved to kiss him again. It was a slow and gradual kiss. Slowly moving my hand took up the side of his face as my lips met his own. He let out a breath. It was a little shaky, but I am assuming it was just because of the stress of the situation. I felt some fire coming around us as the kiss continued. I let all my emotions flow out of my body into that kiss. I felt my sorrow come out into the form of tears as my love came out in the form of touch, gently brushing my fingers into his hair. The dark purple locks, with the slight tint of purple, seemed to stay still in that moment. The world froze around the both of us as his hands moved around my neck, wrapping one over the other as he pushed his chest against my own. I held the back of his head with my hand as I tilted my head to deepen the connection between us. Our connection from one vampire to another, from two bonded souls finally together again. He slowly moved back, and after a moment, I opened my eyes in confusion.
Ko,
I started, only for his tears to cut me off.
I'm so sorry for letting him get the best of me. I want you to know that no matter what, I will always love you more than anyone else.
He said, holding my hand against his cheek. He slowly moved his face against it as I felt some tears come to my eyes.
It's not that I didn't believe you. I believe you more than anything.
He pushed past my hand and put his lips against my own.
I know, Shu.
He had his eyes closed as I was looking at him, perplexed. I felt my whole body want to protect him as he looked up at me in that way he always did. His eyes seemed to say that he does trust me more than anything, and that he is here with me, and that nothing could bring us apart at this moment.
Cookie,
I said, biting my lip to stop from crying. I pulled him closer to me and moved my head into his shoulder. I took in his scent and finally felt calm and at peace for the first time this night. I felt Kokichi shift from under me, and I moved back a bit.
Kokichi?
I asked, looking into his eyes, which now had a light pink laced into his already purple irises. The pink formed into spikes that came from the outside towards his inner eye. The purple surrounding the pink was also bright, making his eyes glow in the shade.
Shuichi?
He asked, sounding more confused than I was. Wait, does that mean Kokichi has powers as well? Well, of course he does. He's also a vampire. Shit. Is this going to be dangerous?
I don't know.
He stuttered, looking down at his hands that were now shaking. I tried to take them into my own hands, but he pulled them away from me, with anger in his eyes.
Don't touch me,
he yelled, before a force pushed against me, making me fly back before feeling my back hit the ground.
Kokichi!
I yelled, trying to come towards him before the force pushed me back again. I fell back into one of the windows on the house, making the glass shatter around me. It cut into my hands, legs, shoulders, and back. I groaned and felt my teeth dig into my lip, making some blood drip down my chin. I felt a lot of pain from the cuts, and because Kokichi was in pain, and I couldn't do shit about it.
Don't go near him. It only lasts a moment.
Cathy yelled, from where she was standing in the house. I looked up at her and slowly moved to get out of the glass shards. I made sure not to slip on the shards that were covering the floor of the living room. There were still some shards sticking into my hands and shoulders. I shook my head. I need to talk to Cathy now. This can come later.
What? Why can't I help him?
I asked, moving over to her side, limping on my way to her.
Because both of you are elemental vampires. I'm surprised that the both of you are elementals, because they're extremely rare, especially for non-pure-blood vampires,
she said, making my eyes widen. Elementals?
Sorry, I'll cut to the chase. He needs a moment to accept the powers given to him. If he makes it easy, then it'll run smoothly, but if he doesn't, it could be a painful process.
Just as she said that, the air became windy, blowing past the both of us in a strong fashion. It made me have to plant my feet into the ground to stand upright. I looked up and saw Kokichi surrounded by powerful winds. So that must mean Kokichi has the air elemental, while I must have fire? I looked closer at the wind and saw that there was a purple tint to the air coming around me and Cathy, while the air around him, in the air breaking the trees, was tinted pink. Maybe it's related to mine?
So, does this mean?
I asked, before the wind soon became a force pulling in the direction of Kokichi. All the wind seemed to be going into him as I heard him cry out. I wanted to run to his side, but there isn't much I can do. After the wind ceased and the sky cleared, Kokichi fell to the ground in the middle of the yard. I ran over to his side, feeling breathless, as I held his body against my chest.
Kokichi! Are you okay?
I asked, seeing that he wasn't breathing. I panicked and held my hand against his neck to feel for a pulse. There was a very faint pulse, but it almost wasn't there.
Kokichi!
I yelled, with tears coming to my eyes.
Oh, Lord.
Cathy whispered, as I felt her hand go to Kokichi's neck.
This is going to be a long night.